What up, everyone? It's your boy Zero Brew. Come back at you with another video. I got the Forge pulled up in the background, so a lot of members of the Brew crew saw me messing around in the Forge over our streams, our live streams, and they were asking me about it. And there were a lot of questions coming in about quick crafting and auto Forge cells and things like that. And they said, hey, it would be really helpful if you put out a video on this. So that's what this video is going to be. A quick little video, all inclusive about the Forge and kind of how I do things and why I do things, right?
Real quick, click the link in my description to get a free Karato as well as Annex, Ugo, and Mausoleum Mage as you level up. Here's how to do it. Log out of Player and Play on a PC and uninstall. Click the link in my description and register with a brand new email. Launch raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champion. Get an awesome start in Raid Shadow Legends with your free Karato Fox Hunter as well as 3 epic champions. Hit the link below and claim them today. I'll see you in the game. Woo!
Okay, so first things first, let's just talk about this. The Forge, especially right now with the Forge passes going on. Now, I did purchase this Forge pass. For those of you who don't know, Forge passes are really good for the bang for the buck. Only the $20 version. Do not buy the $40 version because you will way in advance max this out because you get access to the weeklies and this will max you out super fast. In fact, these don't mean anything toward this, and thank God they got rid of the red dot for this. But Slayer set is a really good set, and so I did want to kind of go for this one. But I will say on the Forge sets, you get a ton of the Forge adamantium or whatever it's called. I don't know, Wolverine's metal. But you get a lot of the Forge steel, if you will, throughout this. Yeah, 300 here, just scrolling through, see a whole bunch of 500 right there. For those of you who don't know, the Forge Pass caps out at 10,000. Okay, so that's a very important thing to note. Once you get to 10,000, anything you collect, and again, you earn this stuff as you're running through your arena, and you earn this stuff all over the place. And so if you ever cap out at 10,000, you're just basically throwing away silver, and silver is one of the most sought after, or one of the highest commodity that you need in the game, right? So you don't ever want to throw away silver. And so what I was basically doing was I was just running this because I was close to the 10,000 cap, or I'd already hit the 10,000 cap. And I just basically ran this real fast. And a lot of the community members said, hey, can you please explain this? So let's just talk about it. Keep in mind, you can run your auto forge in the RSL helper. If you have this tool, it will use your cell file to determine if a piece of gear is good or not. However, this does run this one piece at a time, and it is kind of fast, honestly. This is how we always used to do it. But now they've added quick forge to the game. I'll just walk you through this. Let's just say I want to do 20 pieces. I'm going to click this. I'll explain all this in a minute. Boom, done and done. I just earned 780,000 silver by quickly crafting 20 items, and that resource is called Magisteel officially. So I used 100 Magisteel in this example, and it looks like we got one piece of gear that I said to keep, and I don't really want to keep this, but I have the ability to upgrade it if I wanted to. I know technically right now we have a gear enhancement thing going on, so I could use some resource for this. I spent 56,000 to upgrade it, and then we could sell it for 102, or I could have just sold it for 102. But that is the reason why you want to sell it, and make sure that you're not capping out on your Magisteel, right? And you're just earning silver in the game. And for people that don't know, again, what the Forge is here for, this is for basically the ability to craft gear in the game. And of course, you have the 3 and 4 stars, 4 and 5 stars, and 5 and 6 stars on the account. Also, all your Doom Tower bosses, those resources come in here right now. So for right now, this rotation for the next 24 hours, they recommend farming the spider. So the Affinity Breaker is what the spider drops. This is the Scarab King. This is, I don't know who all the different ones are. Frostbite is probably the Frost Spider. I can't keep them straight. The Guardian I do know is the Griffin. Bommel I think is Fortitude. Lethal is the best one to go for in the game, and this is dropped by Dark Fae to Ho. If you know, you know. And then all of the ones we were just talking about from the Forge Pass, so Instinct, Bolster, Defiant, Righteous, and Slayer. Right now, Slayer is what's being dropped from the Forge Pass, and so we did pay the $20 and we re-upped to get some Forge Pass stuff. Now, just in general, I highly recommend that you do use your charms, not glyphing, use your charms when rolling, especially the these limited pieces of gear. The other thing that I like to do is match what the set is bringing. You can't see, but for example, righteousness, it brings speed and resistance. So maybe you want to roll this with speed or resistance type glyphs, right? Bolster, HP percentage, healing and all that. And the shield is based on HP percentage. So maybe you want to roll that with HP percentage. Define, you can see it right there. Defense, 10%, but obviously you might want to roll defense. And the one that I have here is crit rate and crit damage, 15% on both of those and 10% speed on the Slayer set. So, you know, in theory, you can do all of that. And I do like to hold on to my speed, but honestly, speed, and I've been hoarding my speed like crazy. But also on the lethal sets, I've been rolling it with either crit rate or crit damage. It looks like we have more crit rate right here. And so I'm just going to roll 10 pieces of gear right now on this. And so you can just hit a 10 piece and then you can roll it. But of course you can roll the quick craft and use your filters. Now on these good rolls, I don't like to use quick craft. I'm going to be honest. I get a little scared. So I just sped this up and the only piece, none of this is worth keeping. Polarium, if you want to do a quality of life update, give us the ability to sell all. Or if we click a piece, hit keep, and then it actually removes it from this grouping and hit sell all, that'd be great. Let's see, HP flat, stats. Yeah, all these pieces I'm just going to sell. And I could collect them and sell them, but then I still would have to click and all that stuff. So anyway, we're going to sell these pieces. Okay, so the most important part about this video, especially if you're new to this game, is when it comes to the quick crafting piece. And again, I'm assuming I have these correct as well. My understanding, in fact, I do know this is true because I've tested it, but let me make sure I select something I want to quick craft here. Continue quick craft even if you don't have enough space. So like, let's say I wanted to run 20 pieces right here and my gear is currently kind of buffed up. It says, hey, you don't have, basically this warning says, hey, you don't have enough room for this. So when you click this quick craft, even if you don't have enough space, this basically overrides that warning. Now I will say, don't worry if you do get a keepable piece. So when I did this early in the video and we had the one piece that got when I did my quick craft on those first 20, that will go to your inbox. Now, what can happen is if your inbox get up because it has a cap of 400, that's a different conversation. But if you have plenty of room in your inbox, your gear will go here. Here's what I'm talking about. So you see I've got gear just sitting up here. So your gear, and there's your cap. So I've got 188 of 400 items sitting up here in the mailbox. So your gear will go there. So don't worry about it. You're not going to lose any gear if you select that. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is, and then you can do the charms. I don't mess with the charms. Like I said, I don't trust this as much. I want to see it on the good pieces of gear, like the Slayer, the lethal, and all that stuff. I don't mind taking the extra time for those really good pieces and get my eyeballs on it. Select your filters here. Now this is, to my understanding, and it shows you right here, choose the gear that you wish to keep. All other gear will be automatically sold. Okay, so where I'm at in my account, I only want to keep 6-star pieces of gear, and I only want to look at it if it's legendary or mythical. And again, I'm not saying that because I just told you if it's a lethal or Slayer or something like that, I'm going to look at those individually at the time because there could be some good epic pieces that I may want to keep. But in terms of this function, I don't ever want to see a rare or an epic piece, and I really don't care if it's 6-star. Now again, my account's 3.5 years old. I'm in late game. If you're new to the game or you're beginners to the game, you are definitely going to want to keep maybe 5-star pieces in epics or 5-star pieces in rares, or maybe you only want to keep 5s if it's epic or higher. So that's how you want to kind of look at that. And then you can see right here behind my head, we have the artifact types. So of course, weapons, helmets, shields, gloves. So we'll just start with the weapons. So of course, the primary is always attack. So I don't know why they give you the option, but I guess, again, this is the gear you want to keep. So you're saying, hey, my weapon is going to have attack substat, and they do gray out the ones that obviously can't be applied to this. Again, where I'm looking at it, I need to see speed, crit rate, and crit damage. Those are the only things I necessarily care about. Now, this is where I get a little bit confused is, does it have to have all 3 of these stats, or can it be some of these stats? So maybe it's just one of these stats. Again, maybe someone smarter than me can say so in the comments, but this is how I have mine set up, and I don't care if I lose any of the other pieces, right? So I did the same thing for my helmet, did the same thing for my shield. On the bottom 3, again, you know that you have many options here on the bottom 3. So in this case, I'm saying, hey, on my gloves, let me see HP percentage, attack percentage, defense percentage. And honestly, I should probably take those off too. Crit rate, crit damage, but I at least like to look at the gear. And then I'm saying on the substats, Yeah, show me all of these. So yes, I'm guessing based on this, because obviously a piece can't have all these pieces. For the weapons, helmet, and shield, it has to have at least speed, at least crit rate, or at least crit damage. If it does not have one of these three, it's not going to keep them. So and I say, okay, let me see every piece here. Now, if let's say you're super advanced and you don't want to see flat stats at all on your substats, and you can maybe do some advanced stuff like that. And then obviously the cardinal rule on the bottom three pieces, the gloves, the helmet, and the boots, you never want to keep flat HP, the never want to keep attack or flat defense. So by default, those should always come off. But you know, if you're looking at speed, maybe you only want to keep speed boots. So if I only wanted to keep speed boots, this is what I would say and say, okay, I don't care what the substats are, only show me speed boots, which, you know, is what it is. But I at least want to at least take a look at these. So that's how I do it. So again, these are how you want to keep them. I'm just going to hit cancel and not confirm that because I don't want to necessarily, I clicked a lot of buttons there. I don't want to keep any of those changes. That's would be a way to cancel out all your changes. So here you go. I'm going to run 50 of these items, and this is for perception gear. Here we go. 50. Kept one piece. We sold 50. We made 2.05 silver on this. We used 250 pieces of magic steel. I'm going to click this piece. It does have speed, attack percentage, and defense. So for a piece like this, here's how I personally do it. I roll it up to 8 to see if it lands speed, because that's what we really care about. And it landed flat attack. So guess what? Boom, sell. Now, the other thing I can do is I can roll this to 12 to see if it lands here again. Roll it to 16 if it lands a quad roll here. Sometimes people do that, and then they go in and re-up the gear. In fact, let me just do that for this video. Now, me personally, I would just sell this, because lots of perception, no big deal here. But let's say if we land that attack, and we landed speed, but now this piece is irrelevant, meaning we landed the speed because we didn't land the triple attack. Let's see if we can land the triple attack here. We did. We doubled up the speed. Now I want to keep this piece. And it's not even the best piece because we landed flat attack and didn't land these percentages. So honestly, this is I guess a perfect example of why after you roll it the 2 times and it landed the double attack, it's just go ahead and sell the piece, because now I've spent all the resources to get, and now we double landed speed. And so like it went from trash bin weak sauce to now it's like, it's a mediocre piece of gear. So I'm probably going to keep it because I've already spent the resources on it, but that's why I typically sell that. Now, if we triple or quad rolled this, what I was going to show you is, and then we would go into it and see if we can't, let me see, can we do it from here? I don't know. Yeah, no, you can only roll it from here. So side note, how are y'all liking the new filter pieces? So I will say, we talked about this, and I'll probably do another video on this in the future, but we were saying this doesn't really help us all that much. But I just used it to look for flat, like triple rolls and quad rolls of flat attack and flat defense, again, to kind of show you my point. And anyway, I finally found a piece worth probably re-rolling. But here's an example of one of the newer Stone Cleaver artifact pieces. My head's in the way here. Again, I had decent stats before, but we triple rolled flat HP on this one. Now I can roll this to see if we get a quad roll here, or we could just try to not waste any more silver and hit the upgrade button, and then we go to rework, right? And so I'm going to try to rework this, yes, I have a lot of chaos ores. Again, I have a hoarding problem. We've already discussed this, but you get 1 rework attempt. I wish we had like 3 rework attempts, honestly, but only 1 rework attempt. Here we go. And what we're looking to do here is we have a legendary piece. We've got a triple roll and flat HP. The only reason why I probably kept it is because it was a newer set, the Stone Cleaver set. But normally I probably would have gotten rid of this. But this is a good opportunity if you do triple roll or quad roll into a flat stat. This is what you can do. You rework it, and you're praying that triple roll hits speed or a really good stat. So there's your speed. It's not going to be speed. We got a triple roll of attack percentage. But I will say this piece of gear now just got better, right? So we have a triple roll of attack. I'm not going to roll it to 16. And then we got HP percentage, flat HP, but speed. So like if we did happen to take this piece in the future up to 16, we could quad roll this into attack, or we could land that speed or HP percentage. And this is an example of how you take a triple roll flat stat and make it a better piece. And this is absolutely a better piece. I would absolutely keep this piece now versus selling it. Going back to that perception piece, again, I would have sold it when I double rolled the attack and just sold it. Again, A is perception. You can get a lot of perception through just playing the game. But B, now that I've double rolled speed, it's halfway worth keeping, but still not that good of a piece of gear. When I say not that good, I mean in late game, not good. If you're a beginner in the game or you're mid game, that's probably a banger of a piece for perception, right? So yeah, that's all I got for you. Although I did go look, because I did say we have the gear enhancements going on right now. So yeah, that's all I got for you on this video. Just want to kind of do an inclusive thing on the Forge Pass. I was doing a lot of pieces. A lot of people are scared of the Forge and the quick crafting. And I will be the first to admit, and I'll just close the video out here, I have let my silver, even with the Forge Passes, I've let this magic steel stay capped out for months and months and months on end, and been really hurting for silver in the past. So just make sure that's really the point of this. Use your quick crafting, your filters that we just talked about, and make sure you do it what's right for your account. Maybe only do it for 10 pieces or 20 pieces at a time. Don't do it for 100 or 200 at a time. But yeah, I'll go in this puppy and do it for 200 at a time, and just blow through 1,000 magic steel and just reset that clock or push it back. Like, subscribe, do all the things, and we'll holler at you next time. Come hang out with us on stream. You know what we do. We have a great time. Bye.